What's going on, everybody? As always, for starters, I am recording this here on occupied territory, otherwise known as Albuquerque, New Mexico. And together, let us continue this fight and struggle for Black and Indigenous liberation and liberation for the unhoused peoples and solidarity with them. Um, and sorry, y'all already know me, your boy Zachariah Jazz, and of course, it's controversial. So I'm really excited for this entry here. So I got a few hot topics to talk with y'all about today. First off, I'm going to begin with the city's new plan for the unhoused problem, escape the problem that of course the state caused. Anyway, um, their new plan for that and these camps, these designated camps that they want to create that will be located in parking lots and other shit like that. Um, and of course, I'm gonna get some input from some of my unhoused neighbors. Most notably, I just had a very spontaneous interview with Lucky Romero, who I featured on the channel before. Uh, all on my way home, and I showed it in this article, and he started going on. I was like, dude, I gotta get this on. I gotta get this on audio, man. It was too good. His story is incredible, and what he has to say is incredible, and it's a whole. What's the word I'm looking for? It's a part of homelessness that nobody ever considers, nobody ever thinks about, that nobody ever takes into consideration because they're too busy thinking of how much they contribute to society to consider other people's disparity. You know what I mean? And not even to say that any so-called contribution to society is a good contribution, right? But that's a whole nother topic entirely. So another topic I want to get to is a February shooting took that happened in Edgewood, New Mexico, of a man named Andrew Castellano. Um, Recently at work, I met a friend of his who started telling me his story, and we're gonna talk a little bit more about that. So she gave me permission to bring awareness to this situation, and yeah. So we'll get to that, and then another hot topic I wanted to get to. Oh, before I do that, I have some news. Uh, ABQ Heater Block, the little collective I've been working with, and its unofficial title. We got invited to a mutual aid event where we will be making these heaters in front, for people to see and for people to be intrigued by, and hopefully we can get some donors and some contributors to the project for the winter ahead of us. You know, before we know it, we can blink and it'll already be here. So and it's gonna be a cold one. Every year they get worse and worse. So if you'd like to come to that, that takes place on May 14th, I think. I do not have the location yet, but of course, as soon as I do, y'all will get it. Check the Facebook, check the YouTube, it'll be up there. So, just to begin with, we're going to start with the homeless camps in the city's plan. I'm going to read off from an article from KOB4 about what the city plans to do with the unhoused community. So this is from April 9th, reporting from Jace Golightly. Okay. So there's a new plan to give those without a home a new and safe place to stay in Albuquerque. Mayor Tim Keller is now saying a city-managed and designated homeless camp could be a solution to some homelessness problems in the city. KOB4 spoke with the city council member about the idea and where those potential locations would be. We see them every day who are not ready to get into permanent supportive housing, said Albuquerque City Councilor Pat Davis, the Democrat former cop. Even with Tiny Homes Village and the proposed Gateway Center, Davis says it's a way to address the issue of those who don't want to be placed in a home. Even though we are putting $40 million into housing every year, we still have a waiting list. And we still have people who aren't willing to get into those other places, and we need to come up with an answer for some of them. Maybe this is an option we should explore, said Davis. While the plan is still very much in its beginning phase, the goal is to clear out homeless camps at parks and move them into empty dirt lots. Now the city says they don't plan on picking just any dirt lot. They are looking for locations that are near homeless services and ones that are far from any homes. This is not about turning your neighborhood park into an encampment. This is about incentivizing in certain parts of town where they are not disruptive to other residents or other uses, said Davis. The camps wouldn't be open to just anyone. Some of the early things we have learned is that they have to be small enough to be manageable. They have to be managed. It can't just be a free-for-all. There needs to be a structure and a system for it, said Davis. Because, structures and systems have always been the best thing for anything, right? Anyway, back to text. This isn't a new idea. Santa Fe is also looking into it, and Las Cruces has already created these types of camps. Done right, other cities have seen a lot of success with it. But we got a lot of details yet to be sorted out before the city of Albuquerque will start doing these, Davis said. City Council knows this is going to be a big topic of discussion in Albuquerque. They say in April and the start of May there will be multiple meetings where citizens will be able to speak their minds about this. But the city will have to make a decision soon. It has until the end of May to finalize the budget. So, to me, a couple of things stand out here. Well, first was it can't just be free for all. There needs to be a structure and a system for it. It's what he's saying is, and for it to be manageable, right? Is he's saying there needs to be a lot of oversight and there needs to be a lot of rules and requirements. Basically, there can, like he said, there can be no free for all. Keyword being free. After I'm done speaking here, I'm going to share with you a 27-minute interview with Lucky and how he feels about these encampments. And it's like I said before, it's an incredible story. But yeah, so another concerning point to me is the dirt lots. And this is not about turning your neighborhood park into an encampment. It's about incentivizing in certain parts of town where they are not disruptive to other residents or other uses. And, where he says where this guy has to be away from anyone else's homes. Because he knows and understands that to society, these people are a problem. These people are disgusting, they're dirty, they leave their trash everywhere. All the typical shit you hear about. You hear people say about the unhoused community. All the bullshit and all the hate, all the disgust and evil, hateful shit coming from, these God-fearing, Christians most of the time. And that alone is baffling to me. Because I am not a Christian. I'm not even religious. Though I would say that I have a certain understanding in a strange relationship with the man upstairs if he is there. But I'm not religious. And I believe in helping people. And I don't need a God to tell me when to do that or who to do that with. Or, who to help. I don't none of that shit. But these people claim to be so good and righteous, and they don't have nothing to worry about because they have their God, and the things down here don't matter, right? That's a load of shit. If things down here didn't matter, then Jesus probably never would have died on that cross, right? He never would. He'd be like, oh, okay, well, all your struggles and your sin don't really matter because nothing that you do here matters anyway. Once you die, it's a big deal. So it does matter what we do. And what these Christians, so-called Christians, would-be Christians, if there is a hell, they'll repent for the hateful shit that they say about the unhoused community. But, not to trigger anybody, that's a little bit controversial, right? But that's what the show's about. So, and then another confusing part for me is when Pat Davis said, even though we are putting $40 million into housing every year, we still have a waiting list. And we still have people who aren't willing to get into these other places, and we need to come up with an answer for some of them. $40 million in housing? But of course it doesn't work, right? Because like I said before, it comes with the rules and shit, and the requirements. That's what it comes with, right? Lucky refers to it as the yellow line. And I really want you to hear that. So here's the interview with him, and it's incredible. It really is. So here's that.
Okay, so my wife told me the only reason that I was
Start the yellow line.
Oh, the yellow line thing. Okay, so they did a yellow line test. First, they did a test. A guy was staring up at a tree. He was looking in the tree so hard that somebody stops. Hey, man, what you looking at? The guy said, hey, look, there's a snake up in this tree. And the guy's like, there's no snake. And he's like, yeah, there is a snake in the tree. Look. And he convinces this guy. So now there's two guys staring up in the tree, and
why? Because he believes it, right?
Yeah, because the first guy believes it, so he can believe it so deep that he can. Other people will actually believe it, and they show about by the end of it, there's a crowd of about 80 people staring up at this fucking tree. There's no snake in the tree. They zoom in on the tree. They fucking they show you that there's no snake in this tree. That this is an actor and he's paid to do this. Okay, so. About 80 people by the end of it are staring up in the tree talking about the snake that nobody sees, but they all see it. I mean, they're describing it. Look at that snake. Yeah, it's right there. Yeah, see, it's brown. It's right there wrapped around the tree with a little bit of green in it. Whatever. Then they skip forward and they do a like 2 yellow line thing in an airport. And they have one sign. The sign says, please stay in the yellow line. They have them walking all the way down the airport. They go down the airport hallway, and then the yellow lines go in a circle around a pillar in the airport and then just stop at that pillar. They have a line. I mean, this line is deep. Like 150, 200 people deep standing in this fucking line while the first guy's staring at the damn pole like, where do I go now? Because there's no more signs. It doesn't say where to go after this. It just says stay in the yellow line. Well, he's got it in his head, I got to stay in the yellow line. Every 20 or 30 people, some person will walk by these people and like look at them like, what are you guys doing? Like, why are they standing in the line? So the people walk by, and this is very few people that are actually walking past, this line and the sign. They see the sign, they see the line, and they see the guy standing in front of a fucking pillar, and they're like, no, I got shit to do. I got to catch my plane. I got things. I got to go somewhere. I'm not gonna conform. I'm not gonna just stand there in line. No. I got enough lines to go to. So the thing is people will do what they're told, what the signs tell them, and if there's no more direction after that, they'll stop, and they won't think for themselves. They let someone else do their thinking, and that's what our government wants to do with us. They want us to not think. They want us to just put our heads down and do what we're told. Go to work, pay your bills, pay your taxes, raise your kids. Every day it's the same thing.
What about the people who
in
deviate?
and out. People that deviate, they don't want those people around because the people that deviate are the ones that Tesla. He invented, from what I hear, I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But a way to have free energy for the whole world, to have free energy. Why aren't they using it?
Right.
Because they don't want to give you free energy.
It's not on the yellow line.
It's not. Because once you have free energy, why go to work? You know what I mean? Why?
Right.
You got lights, you got heat, you're warm. You got pretty much everything you need if you have free energy. Like, other than going out and growing your food, catching your food, or trapping your food or whatever, other than food, energy is all we need to live.
Right.
And a nagging housewife. Gotta have one of those.
Always.
No, but
And how does
seriously,
that relate to solving the homeless problem? That according to the city
well,
and these homeless camps.
What they've been doing here in this city that I saw, I would go and I would make my little camp or whatever. And if I wanted to eat in the morning, I would wake up and I would go to the mission. And from the mission, if I wanted to eat again for lunch or breakfast or shower and get some clean clothes, I would go to St. Martin's. That's from the mission to St. Martin's is probably a good 12, 13 block walk. Took about 30, 45 minutes to get there. Unless you stop to smoke a joint, it takes about an hour to get there. But by the time you get there, you're standing in a line, and you wait to get in. They open the gates, you walk in. When you walk in, you sign a piece of paper. Everywhere you go, you sign a piece of paper. There's a reason for that too. So you sign this piece of paper, and then you go, you sit down, and you wait. If it's your day, you can go get new clothes. If it's not your day, you sign up for a shower, so you can go take a shower. Try to clean up. Meanwhile, everybody eats, you eat your food or whatever, and then it's time to go. So you see everybody leaves, and they go to noonday for lunch. They go to noonday, they eat their lunch. When noonday is a little more strict, it's you come in, you can eat your lunch, then you gotta go. St. Martin's, you can kind of kick back if you want, until like 2 p.m. if you want. Well, you go noonday and you eat. You go from noonday, you go a few hours, and you walk to the Good Shepherd. Good Shepherd is over there across the street from the mission. You eat early dinner at 3 p.m. and then you go from there, and you can go in a line and you can go in a circle if you want. You can eat many times you want until they're out of food. And then you go across the street back to where you started, the mission. You eat some dinner. Now, winter and summertime is different. Wintertime, you'll get on a bus from there, and they'll ship you out to the shelter they have out there in the old jail. That's it's not a jail because why? Because they drive you over there. You can't leave on foot. You can't show up on foot, and you're pretty much stuck there until the morning when they kick you out. Which is, by the way, when you get out of jail, they say, "Hey, get your shit. You're getting kicked out." Right? So wait, when I go to jail, they take me to jail. I can't leave unless they say I can leave. And when they kick me out, they kick me out. Right? But they do this at about 6. They start at about 6 a.m. kicking you out. You don't have to get kicked out. There's 4 or 5 buses. You jackal behind, get the last bus, get a few extra Z's in, whatever. You go and you're back at the fucking mission, man. So you go to the mission, you eat your breakfast. You go to the mission, you go, and it's a big cycle. I call it the ranch, the homeless ranch. One of the reasons I don't do that anymore is because I was tired of being fucking beef.
Tired of being on the fucking yellow line.
Bro. That's what it is. Yeah, they got a yellow line going from the mission to St. Martin's. It goes like this: Mission, St. Martin's, noonday, Good Shepherd, Mission. But on Saturdays, you can't find food anywhere. Saturdays, it's all you. You got to fend for yourself. Most people don't eat on Saturday.
Right.
That's the way that goes. Summertime, after the mission's over, you eat your dinner. They let you kick back for a minute, but there is a deadline where you got to get the hell out. And you got to get out and you got to go. And you go, and in the summertime, they don't have this West Side paradise, because it's not a jail. They don't have it open.
Right.
Why? Because you're not going to die in the street in the middle of the summer because it's not that cold.
Right.
Right? The only reason they have that open in the winter is because Some people don't like it that homeless people are dying all over the fucking place when it's too cold. They're like, hey, you should have somewhere for them to go. That's fucked up, you know? And granted, I do want to say that there's three different types of people that are homeless. Okay, I think I've gone over this with you. There's the homeless type that have burned every single bridge that they've ever been able to cross. You know, their mom, their auntie, their cousin, their brother, their grandma. They've stole from them. They've you know, disrespected them by not helping out around the house or not getting a job or not even trying to do anything. Okay, there's those ones, and we can all agree, including some of us homeless people, that, you know, they make their bed. Okay. Then you have the type that they can't be indoors. They can't live indoors for some reason or another. Like I was saying, I know a guy whose wife and child died, and he cannot stand to be indoors. He's clean. He washes windows every day for a living. He makes money. He does not do any type of drugs. He smokes cigarettes. Whatever. He smokes cigarettes, that's it. But the dude is on the up and up. He cannot be indoors, bro. He goes indoors, he goes to his house and or an apartment or anything where he's confined, and what do you think he thinks about? His wife and his kid. That's it. That's all he's got to think about. You know, being homeless, he's got way more options. You know, usually a camp will consist of more than one or two people. You will very rarely find a person camping by themselves. When you find a person camping by themselves, I don't even know what kind of person that is because I haven't ever met anybody that camps all alone. I haven't. It's dangerous, it's lonely, and it's my first couple nights out. I was by myself, and it fucking sucks. And it's just like being indoors. So, anyways, and then you got the third type. The third type, like myself, when me and my wife would fight, I tend to think that I loved her so much that I would sit outside of the house and wait till she let me in, like the good dog, you know? Until she started telling me that I had nowhere to go, therefore, there's the only reason I was there. And I thought about that. I'm a ward of the state. In layman's terms, I'm an orphan. People say you can't be an orphan, you're a grown adult. Bitch, I'm an orphan. I don't care what you say. You can't tell me I'm not an orphan. Just because I'm not a child doesn't mean I'm not an orphan. I still don't have mom. I still don't have dad, brother, sister, auntie, uncle, cousin, nephew. Nobody. See, so I don't have any bridges. I've never burnt a bridge because I never had a fucking bridge. Since I was 16 when they put me out on my own, you know, I've been in some pretty rough relationships that I kept going just because, yeah, my wife was kind of right. I had nowhere to fucking go. I left a 15-year marriage with the shirt on my back, shoes on my feet. That's all I left with. Why? Because she could. What could I say? What could I do? And even if I wanted to take stuff with me, the city's just gonna come take it from me away. You know? Like people out there that have never been homeless see me, and right now I actually have 6 carts full of shit. Now anybody that just heard that is gonna say, wow, that's a lot of shit. That's nothing, bro. That's nothing. Go through your house. Look at your shit in your house, okay? Now, cut out your couches, cut out your TVs, cut out your dressers, your bed, and all the artwork, pictures, and picture frames you got in the house, okay? Now, I want you to keep your knickknacks. I want you to keep your tools. I want you to keep your blankets. I want you to keep a couple of pillows. I want you to keep I want you to keep some clothes, and I want you to tell me how many baskets you think you have. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna have less than me, promise you. Okay? Now, I want you to be that person that, no, you don't do drugs. No, you've not burned every bridge you've ever had. No, nothing traumatizing has ever happened to you in your life. Let's say you even been to college. Let's say you were on Dean's List in college. You know? Let's say you were a good student growing up, that you played sports and you did everything that all the good kids did. The only thing you didn't have as an adult was something to fall back on. Like when your lights went out and you called mom, I fell behind. I got sick at work, and I wasn't able to make it to work. And I couldn't turn my lights off, Mom. Oh, I got you, mijo. Let me pay your lights for you this month. No, 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 Mom. Don't do that. Yes, yes, I'll do it. I don't have that. You know what I mean? I can't call up one of my buddies. Hey, bro, think you can pay my lights this month? Yeah. Hello? You know what I mean? That's what you get. So I decide. Okay, so yeah. Anyway, I did the homeless thing, right? My wife's like, "Oh, you're just out there selling pot, and you're not even trying." And you okay? So I said, "All right, fine." I went and got a job. I was 27 years old. Never been fired from a job in my life. Ever been fired. Okay. My work ethic is above and beyond. When I go to work, people tell me to slow down because they don't want to work that hard. Okay? That's my work ethic. No matter what I'm doing, if I'm waiting tables or if I'm fucking doing landscaping. That's just what I do. I work. Well, 2 days before I got my first paycheck, my boss informed me that I couldn't work for them anymore. I said, why? Was it my work? Is it whatever? I've never been more embarrassed in my life than I was when this man told me that I stank, that the guys didn't want to work around me because I was dirty. See, I couldn't go take my shower at 10 a.m. at St. Martin's every day. And by the end of every day, I'd be really tired and worn out because I couldn't eat my breakfast or my lunch. And since I went to work at 6 a.m. and I got off at 4 p.m., by the time I made it to the mission, I would be lucky if I got dinner. So for those almost 2 full weeks, I didn't eat, I didn't shower, I couldn't change my clothes. I was fired because of hygiene problems. And the city made it that way. See? Because they have you going in this fucking ranch, and if you don't go in this ranch, you don't get fed, you don't get new clothes, you don't get showers. Go ahead. I dare you, homeless folks, to go try and get a job. They ain't gonna last. Unless your job is washing cars and you can spray yourself down a little bit and nobody knows about it, bro, you're gonna get fired for stinking, and it's fucked up, dude. It really is. Is it my fault that I'm out here? No. Can I change the reasons why I'm out here? Well, no, that's wrong. Can I change my actions so that way I can get off of the streets? No. Because when I change my actions, I still get fired for stinking. You know? It's fucked up for people like me who have nobody. And I look at these people that have burned every bridge they've ever had. They've ever had in their life. Ever in their life. They burned them all, right? So it upsets me because I don't have a pump. No, I'm recording here. I get mad because I've never had that. I've never had the chance to prove that I can do it on my own. It's fucked up. And there's a lot of people like me out there. There's a lot of fucking people like me out there that have never had the chance. I'm not saying to burn the bridge, but just the opportunity to cross the bridge. Feel me? I can't even cross the bridge because it's not there. And every time I go down the hill to go down and up instead of cross the bridge, I come to the river that's gonna stop me because I can't go up the other side, even if I can make it to the bottom. Man, 2 days before my first paycheck. But let's say I had got that paycheck, okay? Bam, I give me $600-700. And you move into an apartment for $600 or $700? Not without them working with you. Most likely not without them working with you. You know, if they say, "Oh, we'll work on the deposit with you. Do you have at least half the deposit?" Well, I got $600, bro. He's like, "Well, it's $450 plus a $350 deposit. You don't even have half the deposit, bro."
And then the application fee, that's fucking hard.
Oh yeah, our application fees. Here we go with those. Mm-hmm. So now I'm in a motel. Now you got a whole nother type of homeless people. Because there's tons of homeless people in motels right now. They're homeless as fuck. I don't even like to say I'm homeless. I like to say I'm wallless or I'm foundationless because I don't have either walls or foundations. You know, I got a heart, and my heart is home. So I got a home, you know, but I don't have my own property, my own walls, my own privacy. You know, I live so close to the Walmart just so I can take the shit, bro. Because I don't do it outside. That's not my thing. Okay, I'm not a bear. Bear shit in the woods? Yeah, they do. I don't. I gotta go to Walmart. They're like, why don't you leave the area you're in? Nobody wants you there. Okay, well then, you want me to go up there? I'm gonna go up there where there's an open bathroom, probably near a Walmart. You know, probably near someone. Did you know? Do you know how hard it is to find a place to go to the bathroom in this city? Like, if you walk around and you actually try to find a gas station or a grocery store or something that's not like huge, like, you know, Walmart, Albertsons, you know, those places, they won't stop you. Speedway. How many times have you gone into a gas station and the sign on the door says out of order? So your employees don't go to the bathroom for 8 hours?
Right.
You're not letting your employees go to the bathroom for 8 hours. And the managers will tell you, no, they cannot go to the bathroom for 8 hours.
Yep, just to fucking...
But it's bullshit. But then again, you've got those ones that go in the bathroom, they leave their needles, they shit on the wall, you know what I mean? Inevitably, it's the worst people in every group that make the rest of the group look bad. Whether it's about race, or if it's about your stature in society, or if it's about the guy in the office. You know, there's that guy in the office that makes lawyers look bad. All lawyers look bad because of these types of lawyers. You know what I'm saying? All police officers may be considered bad because of these type of police officers. You feel me? Bro, I'm on YouTube beating the shit out of somebody who's beating the shit out of his girlfriend.
I love that video.
Okay? You know what I mean? I'm down there. I got the same motherfucking people because they live in this neighborhood. The same people that live in this neighborhood that talk
I'll
shit
link
about
that
me.
video in the description of this.
Those same people are calling me a hero. I was homeless then. I was without walls then too, because I always have been. So I did something for somebody, right? Check this out. Right down here, there's this old couple. They were stranded in their car. It was snowing outside. They're about 80 years old. Okay. I pushed them from the motel right here, across the street from Denny's. I pushed them all the way up the street and all the way down the block to their house. Okay. If you ask those people about the guy that did that, you're gonna get a complete different description than you're gonna read about the Atrisco, what is this? The Atrisco Neighborhood Association that loves to talk about me and all my shit that I have. You know what I mean? I'm a fucking hero around here, but how about the kids that were throwing the damn carts off over the fucking bridge here onto the highway? You know who stopped them? This dirty fucking homeless guy with 7 carts. That's who stopped them kids.
They'd rather blame you than blame the kids.
Oh, bro, that's the only reason.
Scapegoat.
You know what? The only reason I stopped them was because I knew I'd get blamed.
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah, I try to be a good guy too. But still, they don't care. They see what they see in the moment. And nobody that sees that video will recognize me. And I ain't trying to be like, come say thank you or come give me a house. No. How about a bridge? Right. You know what I'm saying? Give me a bridge. I'll show you what I could do. The city workers come over here and they clean up the shit and they kick us out. Guess what? They all like me. Oh, every single one of them city workers like me. I've been offered a job by one of the main guys. He says, hey, bro, come and get a job. I'm like, man, when it's possible, I will. When it's possible for me, the first damn thing I'm going to do is go set up with the city. I work for the city. I'm set, bro. Finally, I'll be set. But I got to get that bridge because I'm not going to get fired ever again for stinking, bro. Ever again will I get fired for that. And they can't tell me that going to the shelter is going to help me. They can't tell me that their little concentration camp that they're making into a homeless camp is going to help me. It's not. You know what? You need more programs like AOC. Look into AOC. AOC is I think it's called Men Coming Home or something about Men Coming Home. Man, that is what is needed in the city. You know, that is definitely what's needed in the city. If I didn't have a girlfriend, I would be there. You feel me?
Which for is for men,
I've
it's a
been with
men
her for
only.
5 years. It's for men only. But you go there, they give you 30 days. They let you put your stuff there. They have food there when you get there. You can be driven on. No, you can't walk up, but you can ride a bike up. You can be drove onto property. They'll have snacks and stuff. It's not nothing big, but they got showers, they got you a bed, and a place to put your shit. So when you come home from the day, your stuff has been stolen. The city hasn't thrown your stuff away. Now get this: if you stay there for 30 days, you get a job in those 30 days, and you prove that you're trying, they'll let you stay another 30 days, bro. And if you save your checks up, which you should if you're trying to get off the streets, okay, you shouldn't be spending your money on bullshit. I agree. So you're saving your money. They actually help with damage deposits. The AOC is a great, like, I would
Do you
totally
know if they have an
recommend.
equal opportunity type thing for women too?
There's no women. There's
No.
no women there. It's a men's thing, and it's focused on helping you get you on your feet. Most people that go there are gonna be men like myself, but I've been with my girl for 5 years, 5 straight years. Okay, and even together when we had jobs, we couldn't get off. We've got cars. We've had cars, and that made it a little easier because you couldn't see my cards
Right.
because it was in the car.
Right. Right.
You know, same shit. But as far as these camps go that they're trying to make up, it's just the same thing as the ranches they tried to make up. Just people are breaking off the branch now. Like, wait a minute. They got me walking in circles and staring at a pole every day. They got you conforming. And I'm not saying it's bad to conform, but what I'm saying is you got to think for yourself. If you don't think for yourself, you end up getting fired for stinking. If you can't think for yourself, like now, I mean, no, I don't work. I don't have a job. I used to knock on doors because I was presentable and I can mow lawns. I can cut trees. I can build foundations. I can do lay concrete. I can do any type of labor work there's to do. I'll wash your walls. I'll shampoo your carpets. I don't care. I'm not above any of that. But after a while, people stop answering the door. And when you're walking around the neighborhood, you notice the cop stops you every time you're in the neighborhoods because you're knocking on doors. Because somebody doesn't like the way you look.
Just some suspicious dudes walking down the street, knocking on doors.
Yeah, he's holding a rake and a shovel. He's probably trying to kill people.
Right.
Stupid asses. I don't know. People, even those people that do that though, the people that do call on the suspicious character walking through, they're conforming with what they've been taught their whole life.
To believe.
Yeah. Oh look, look at that guy. He hasn't had a shave in weeks. You can tell that there's a difference between someone growing a beard and somebody who hasn't shaved in weeks. There's a big difference.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. It's really hard. It's hard for us out here, and for all the people, all the orphans, I want to say that are like me. I feel bad for them, and I don't know what they're doing to cope with it. Most likely drugs. Because when you've got money, you get to go see a psychiatrist, and he gets a piece of paper, and he writes down a prescription for the same drugs you find on the
State
streets.
sanctioned drugs.
Yeah, exactly. I've heard from more than a million people that methamphetamine and I don't know why I said it was so low. Methamphetamine and Adderall,
Right. Right.
very similar, very 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 similar. People with ADD, they take Adderall, they do all right on it. But what if they didn't have a fucking psychiatrist? Bet you they're gonna be doing other things.
You're gonna find something to cope.
Got to. Hey man, it's good talking to you.
Thank you, Lucky. So, I just gotta, add to what Lucky said real quick. Well, it's just where I stand on one such subject that he pointed out was the one bad apple talking point he came up with in referring to the police, right? Because in every part of society, well, not every part of society is intended to protect and serve the society as a whole, right? It's not. Well, it's on paper, right, intended to protect and serve the community and the people, but the police are, so I I I wholeheartedly believe that it is safe to say that if one bad cop definitely can make the entire group look bad. Because if there are good cops and they aren't stopping the bad cops, then why are there good cops and do they even exist? Good cops are intended to catch the bad guys, right? Well, this cop is bad. Why aren't you catching him? So that in turn makes them all bad. But um, aside from that, and my personal belief, um, Lucky's story is just it's phenomenal, and definitely something people don't take into consideration. They always want to say, "Oh, they have no excuse. Why don't they just go get a job? Why don't they just contribute to society and pay taxes like the fucking rest of us?" Okay. You know, taking into consideration what Lucky said. Okay, okay, help me get the resources so that I can eat, I can have a good breakfast, so that I can shower, I can smell good, and I can make it to work on time. Do that, and then we'll go from there. Because, to Lucky, it's not like he doesn't want to work. It's not like he wants to live the way he does. He doesn't choose it for himself, but he doesn't have a choice because these blockades preventing him from doing that. Not having a good meal in the morning, not having a place to wash up. Now, granted, maybe he could try to go to a gas station and take a bird bath, but they won't even let him in the bathroom. And that's one part I wanted to correct when he was talking about, needing to go to the Walmart to use the bathroom. And I mentioned Speedway. I got confused and as to the point he was trying to make, because Speedway definitely doesn't let the unhoused community use the bathroom. They don't. I do on my shift. I definitely will. I mean, I'm gonna, you know, say like, hey, don't make a mess in there. Because then if you make a mess in there, then they're going to know, and then I won't be able to let you use the bathroom anymore. While, somebody else is here with me. We'll lose that. I don't want that to happen. So I had to set that imaginary line in the sand. But yeah, his story is just remarkable, and it's how a lot of people feel out there. It's what a lot of people are going through out there. It's so easy to judge based on the shit that we hear on TV or shit that we read on the internet or the trash we see in the street. A lot of that's your trash. they just they pull it out of your trash cans. Some do, some don't. Some gotta eat. But uh, thank you again, Lucky, for sharing that incredible story with me, and to all of my unhoused neighbors and friends who have shared their stories with me. And each one is just as incredible as the next, and heartbreaking and inspiring, and it's a show of their resilience and strength and power and the will to keep going. It's quite remarkable. So, the next topic is controversial to say the least, right? Because it fits the whole narrative that people like to place on victims of police and state violence, who say that because somebody has a a history of a criminal background, you know what I mean? A criminal according to the state, because they've done some shit that first that for some reason to people that the things that this person has done is a justification for why he deserved to be killed. Now, it's not only, well, to me that's not controversial, but to other people who hold that belief and uphold that narrative is, that is controversial. But what can also be controversial, even to some of you liberals out there who are listening to this podcast that I've, marched through the streets with, for George Floyd, for Breonna Taylor, for Claude Trevino, for anybody, for any victim. Even you would say, well, he had a gun. Okay? Andrew Castellano, yes, he had a weapon on him. Now, the reason why the cop stopped in this clip I'm going to show you is the lapel footage of when the cop shot and killed him several times. The reason why he stopped was because he saw that somebody was stuck in the snow and he needed help, right? And so, referring to Drew's history, he has history with the police, and it's a violent one. So, right at contact, he's nervous and anxious because he doesn't like the police. And that could go for any situation, right? Say you were attacked by a dog when you were a child. This is not to make a comparison between a dog and a cop, but trauma in traumatic scenarios for people, right? So let's say when you were a child, there was this dog and it attacked you and it bit into your face, or bit your hand and took a finger off or something. Imagine that. So now every time you see a dog, you're scared, you're anxious, you're on edge, jittery, because reliving that experience and trying to control it, trying to contain yourself, not trying to let it show. That you're agitated, right? So of course, anybody who has had a violent history with the police is going to be naturally agitated when one shows up on him or pulls up on him, right? So the cop stops because he finds Drew and the person he was with stuck in snow. Now, that is in and of itself not a criminal activity. That's not breaking the law. There's nothing wrong with that scenario other than the fact that he got stuck in the snow and he's cold, right? So that's the only thing wrong with that. There's no basis for to be searched, to be ID'd, to be questioned in a cop like way, not in a like, oh, I'm trying to help you type of way, right? So he pulls up on him, gets out, and Drew's agitated. Cop then asks him, do you have any weapons on you? And he proceeds to try to search him. Drew doesn't like that. He resists a little bit. Cop grabs him by the wrist, and there's a lot of back and forth right there. And cop was just threatening him, like, dude, you don't move, like, you're not gonna like how this goes. Da 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 da. Then lifts up his shirt because of course he saw the gun, right? That's I mean in the video in the lapel footage, I mean you can see it. You know, is it illegal to have a gun in your waistband? No, the cop didn't ask him if he had a license to conceal carry. He didn't ask none of those questions, right? No, he assumed, oh, this guy's agitated, he's jittery. I see a gun in his waist, so I'm not going to ask him if he has a license to conceal carry. I'm just going to assume he's up to something, right? So he uses the agitated state that Drew is in to, initiate contact, knowing that he saw the gun, but he's not just gonna say that. So he's gonna look for it, pretend that he's looking for it. He already saw it, right? Therefore, triggering Drew because Drew isn't aware that this cop is aware that he actually does have a gun on him. So being that Drew has had a violent history with the cops, he's agitated, he's cold, and he knows he's about to get in trouble. It's a fight or flight reaction. Now, my friend that I met, that's a friend of his, told me that he was a fighter. He was gonna go out. He was gonna go out fighting. That's what she told me. And that's ultimately what happened. She went out fighting. Now he went out fighting, yeah, but he didn't. He wasn't fighting anymore after a shot, maybe two shots. After several shots, he's definitely not fighting anymore. So why keep shooting? Cause he was that afraid. No, nobody can ever really train a person to kill somebody. We can train them how to kill, but it's controversial in and of itself too, right? Because who's to say I would know what to do in that situation? But I probably wouldn't have shot him anywhere from 7 to 9 times. I'd have been too afraid to keep shooting, that I hurt somebody. Cop doesn't think that way. Cop is thinking eliminate the threat, panic mode, pow 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 pow. That's what's going through a cop's mind. Not thinking about, oh shit, I think I might have just killed somebody. I should probably stop shooting now. Maybe he's still alive. He's not thinking about what he was actually even doing there anyway. Try to help people. Instead, he killed somebody and left another one traumatized for the rest of their life. So here's that clip. Warning: this is distressing images. So viewer discretion is advised. Now, after you watched that clip, I'm sure you're already formulating an opinion on it, and that can go one of two ways. Either you feel it was justified, or you feel it was overkill. Regardless, or whatever your decision may be, I want you to just think about it. Think about everything I said for a second. And then think about your decision. And then think about what I said again. And as long as it takes, repeat the cycle for as long as it takes until you see that there's a problem. There's a problem. And think about what role you would play in solving that problem. Whatever your opinion about what you saw in that clip and what I said may be, whatever the problem you came to, the conclusion you came to, think about how you can be part of the solution. And then act on it. You can go one or two ways. You can I don't know. That's controversial too, right? That's what this show is about, but I will save it for the next one. So, again, come out, join us May 14th. The location will be in the description of this video, because yes, from when I talked about it at the beginning of this video and now I have found out the location, and it'll be in my Facebook story. So yeah, just keep checking back in, and I hope you can make it out. It'd be great to see everybody there. Solidarity with our unhoused friends and neighbors. But as always, your boy Zachariah Jazz signing off. And be good to each other. Take care of each other. And love each other. Set aside your problems in your relationship or that fight you had with your parents. Just love each other. Stop giving the unhoused community so much shit. Instead, give them something to eat. I love y'all. We protect us. Uhuru.